Man, first of all, praise God for yet getting through another day. It's a blessing to be alive in this world today. And just want to give all praise to the Most High God. I am extremely tired, worked extremely hard, and I still haven't finished working. It's just a little break where I get to really commit in a couple of things well and really just thank God uh, for what He's done so far. Now, I don't know why the dog is barking like that outside, and you're probably hearing it on this recording. Nonetheless, we're going to proceed forward. Um, so let's begin. As you can see here, we have Ben Affleck and we have Robert Pattinson. Side by side. And it's pretty clear as day who is more intimidating of the two. Of the two. This you could just see it. Ben is like almost twice the size of Robert Pattinson in terms of girth and width and muscle. Um, and quite frankly, I don't know how people think Robert Pattinson is like the ideal Batman. Just never rang true to me. Um, I always felt like Ben literally captures the aesthetic of Batman. The Not just the look of him, but just the overall, just intimidating feel of him. And I mean, if these two were to go to war, oh, I got Ben beating Robert Pattinson's ass up and down, mopping the floor with him. You know. Anywho, uh, we are going to talk about a bunch of stuff, and it's a matter of time before you know, before the fall of Israel. It's a matter of time. Zionism just cannot hold. And not only that, but I think it's a matter of time before the Snyderverse is restored. And I like what you guys are doing. You need to keep doing it. Okay? Remember, the power's in your hands. It's always been in your hands. It's whether you want to give it up to somebody else to let them do what they want. But I'll say it again, all the people who have committed war crimes, all the people who have enabled genocide, we're coming for you. All the people trying to lock up people unlawfully for free speech, we're coming for you. We're not going to let one of you escape. The nice thing about digital media is it's there forever. There's no way to cover it up or hide it. And it could take 10 years, it could take 20 years. We're coming for you. Not one of you are going to escape. Okay? And you chose this path. So when everybody's starting to recant and people talking about how horrific it was and how they were on the side of Palestine, we got receipts. We got digital receipts. We'll know. We'll know. And some of you will be ashamed and we'll shame you. And if you've done something that is wrong, you will be brought to justice. Believe you me, you will be brought to justice. This is a different era. You know. Okay, let's start off with the voice of rabbis. Jews march against Israel and Zionism in Washington, D.C. This happened on the 26th of February. Zionism is not Judaism. Obviously, Zionism is a political structure. It's a political shall I say, entity. for lack of a better word. Judaism is a religion. Israel is not the Jewish people. This is clearly a fact. And Israel does not represent Jews or Judaism, which is very true as well. We called out to President Trump, Zionism is not Judaism. Israel is not the state of the Jews. Zionist lobbies can never speak on behalf of the Jewish people and represent them. Jews want the United States to be saved from the occupation of Zionist lobbies. We pray that God will save America from the irreligious Zionist. Zionism is a political movement. It's not a religious movement. It has nothing to do with religion. Here they are again. Zionism is not Judaism. Israel is not the Jewish people. Israel does not represent Jews or Judaism. All right, so let me just let you hear them. See, they'd have you believe that anti-Zionist Jews are a minority or a small amount of people, but as you can clearly see here, there's a lot of them. And they went down to DC and they made their voices felt. There are thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands, of anti-Zionist Jews, and particularly these are certain sect of Orthodox anti-Zionist Jews. Okay, there's always been anti-Zionist Jews throughout the world. You can find some in Iran. You can find them, in other countries of the world. And not just Orthodox anti-Zionist Jews. You have anti-Zionist Jews, period. People as Jewish lineage who are anti-Zionist. And you'll find quite a substantial portion of them are anti-Zionist in the world. It's just the media doesn't cover it. And again, there's so much the media does not cover. So there's I was having a discussion with a gentleman when I was traveling up to celebrate my cousin's wedding. And this guy was saying how, the people of the world, they're just letting, like what Trump is doing, just let him do it. They're letting, in England, people are getting put in prison for certain things and nobody's doing anything. It's not that nobody's doing anything. And I tried to tell him this important point, but he didn't want to hear it and he was trying to shut me down. So I just forgot about it. But I was trying to make the important point that the media, just because it doesn't cover something doesn't mean there's not something going on. There's so many marches all around the world in protest of what's happening in Palestine. And we're talking hundreds of thousands of people, sometimes even millions of people. We saw it in Yemen, a million-man march and a million-man assembly. Millions of people came out for that. So there's tremendous amounts of people in even the Arab states, in the different Arab states, around Israel and Palestine, there have been some tremendous support by tremendous amounts of people. We're talking tens and hundreds of thousands of people have been, participating in protests. So, just because the mainstream legacy media doesn't cover it doesn't mean it's not happening. And that's, I think, something that people don't realize. The revolution will not be televised. Here it is again. Zionism is not Judaism.
Yes, Zionism, no. The state of Israel must go. Judaism, yes. Zionism, no.
So they did this march in February, and they also did one in March of this year, last month. Voice of Rabbi says Jews, Muslims, and Christians march in unity and solidarity in support of Palestine in Texas. Even though you're seeing a lot of Palestinian people or Arab-looking people, Texas is an interesting place, okay? And just to see Texans, real Texans, riding horses and shit, in solidarity with Palestine is a little crazy. But it's actually going on as well there. This happened in the beginning of this year. Sarah Wilkinson also covered it. And it just goes to show you the increased awareness that's happening in Palestine. And then, of course, these pictures don't also help. Mohammed Jawad, look at Rafi's eyes, how they reflect sorrow and pain in the face of destruction left by the occupation. Keep talking about Gaza. So, this is not going away anytime soon. Now, this lady, for those of you who don't know who this is, she is something Empire, and she's been covering this for a very, very long time. Anyway, I want you to hear her words. I forgot what her name is. Don't worry. It'll come to me.
People in Gaza need to know that it's the beginning of the end of the Zionist state. Okay. The Zionist state will not survive. To stay in the same place, they have to kill and kill and kill. That's the only thing they know how to do. And that's not a surviving strategy. Mm-hmm. And that's not a winning PR strategy for the world. And the more people who wake up, and certainly tens of millions of more people have woken up to the truth, to the barbaric nature of what Zionism is and what Israel really represents, there's no going back for them. So for decades, pro-Palestine advocates have been on the defense to explain why defense of Palestine, why advocacy for Palestinian liberation is not anti-Semitic, why criticizing Israel is not anti-Semitic. That is no longer the case. Zionists are on the defense now, explaining why they support apartheid and genocide. They're no longer going to be allowed in the same spaces as progressives. The whole idea of progressive except for Palestine is no longer real. You are no longer going to be seen as progressive or liberal if you are Zionist. It is a racist, colonial, genocidal ideology, and it has been exposed. And at this point, anyone with a shred of humanity is on the side of Palestinians. And that's the hope we have to hang our hats on. That's the hope that we have to keep striving for. And that's what gives me optimism, because I see the truth. I see the world waking up. I see the mass movements in the streets. Apartheid can't stand. We can't justify apartheid. Yeah. And we can't justify genocide. And those crimes need to be held accountable, and they need to be stopped. And Israel Israel has put itself on the defense for its whole existence. I mean, that's why it's survived and thrived, because it's inverted reality. It's flipped reality on its head, and it's invested tens of billions of dollars into controlling the narrative in the West. But we see Palestinians dictating their own reality for the first time with social media. And those lies don't hold anymore because we see the truth. Just unfettered truth. You just open your phones and you see with your own eyes.
Yep. So I'll go to, I'll go to the following one in a second, but I just wanted to say, yeah, this is, I mean, let me be honest with you. 2 years ago in 2023, when this all started to happen, I was fuck Hamas. That's how I was. Now I'm like, you telling me I'm pro Hamas is not intimidating, because actually Hamas seems to have a point here. The way Hamas is portraying itself, you can say propaganda, you can say whatever you want. Hamas looks so good right now. Israel looks like a horrible, voracious animal. Just trying to gobble up real estate and cause mayhem and chaos in other countries and destabilize other nations around it. So it could be the hegemony. It could be the thing in the Middle East. And the whole thing's so demonic. It's just so evil. Israel is, in the world's eyes, a villain. It's no longer seen as this, weak, this victim in the Middle East. Israel is looked at as the provocateur, the one who is provoking other nations to try and fight it. And then it calls down the might of the United States and Europe to defend it. And the problem with this whole thing is the image that's portrayed to the world about the Israeli people. Now, the Israeli people are not, especially the majority of Israeli people, are not like how is being portrayed to the world, unfortunately. And I have friends in Israel, like I said before, and they're not cool with this. Okay? They're not cool with what is going on. But anyway, the point is that because Netanyahu and his government, have become basically draconian in Israel and is censoring anyone who speaks outside of their narrative, they've held the narrative hostage. Israel has become more of a police state than ever before. People are dragged from their homes in Israel, in East Jerusalem, in Israel proper. People have been displaced from their lands, and settlers have been allowed to settle there. The settlers are just despicable. They really are despicable, and they're very forceful. They're really very, very much right-winged. It's just the ugly of uglies. Israel is giving its ugliest face to the world, and with great impunity, it's giving the world a middle finger. And this is insulting to any average Joe of the world, because if it could do that to the world, then it's saying, fuck you, world. Then it means it can fuck us again. When it's done with the Palestinians and the Lebanese and the Syrians and Iran, it's going to come after you and I. And so, in fact, in America right now, citizens are on high alert because anybody could be just immediately victimized out there, and treated like the Palestinians, by the way, because if I'm not mistaken, Mahmoud Khalil, who's in Louisiana, along with 2 other detainees, protesters, the judge reversed the ruling. So the judge said, no, the trial is going to happen in New York. But even though Khalil has been abducted, and I note the words I'm using, abducted. This is the legal words I have to use. He's been abducted because there's no legal framework and there's no charge laid against him. He hasn't been charged with any crime. He has just been taken. And a few other people have been taken and also carried to Louisiana and have been detained there, abducted and held. And the courts have ruled against all of this. Now, what's very important to understand is we cannot let any single person involved in this abduction, no matter who they may be, come out of this scathe-free. Khalil should sue the living shit if he's alive still, and they haven't broken his bones or injured him very severely. And if they have broken his bones and injured him severely, again, they should be sued to the length, breadth, and width. Because they fucked up royally by taking him. They shouldn't have touched Khalil. But obviously we know it was Zionists that, like Karens that they are, that pinpointed him out. And he was abducted. Now, I'm going to go into something else for a second, because it's a matter of time before we see the Snyderverse restored.
DC, when they went down a dark... Did DC studio have a rough time at CinemaCon? First off, this image scared the shit out of me. I thought my boy James Gunn was relapsing for a second. Now, I will say, the good in this panel is that they did show an extended clip of Krypto saving Superman. Because again, if your target audience is a younger audience, you might as well promote Krypto as much as possible. And the worst part about the whole thing is they went that entire panel without mentioning a single thing about the Batman Part 2. Is this movie even happening anymore? But then Variety decided to drop this article. They said that the idea for the DCU is to offer audiences a brighter and more optimistic do-over of DC when they went down a darker, more dour path of the Snyderverse. Now that's where you absolutely lost me. Because you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 projects since the Snyderverse. And as you can see, during Snyder's era, which half of these projects aren't even his, we're making money. Our more hopeful and optimistic universe wasn't resonating with anybody. And we saw what you guys tried to do with Justice League. That was terrible. I hate to be that guy, but I'm pretty sure that DC cannot live outside of Snyder's shadow. Like, Snyder cooked so hard with 2 movies that people are still obsessed with it. And they came out like 15 years ago. What's going to happen if the Superman movie doesn't do well in the box office? Are we going to